The one that he lost, of course, was the final match last year when he was beaten by Skyler Woodward.
Thanks, Colin.
That was a very emotional moment for him too. He was tearful after that. Felt like he'd let the side down, but America played great last year.
Yeah, he didn't hide from that at all. He acknowledged just how disappointing it was to him and spoke about it just the other day, in fact, at the pre-tournament press conference, and said Woodward just played so well in that match.
Oh, the golden break nearly.
I don't think we've seen a golden break all week, have we?
No, we have not. Let's take another look at that. See how it got kicked in by the 6 ball there. That could have turned everything then, couldn't it? So we'll see what happens now. Maybe there is a turning point. There's certainly nothing easy here that he's left with, that's for sure.
Extension called.
He's looking at maybe he should go for the cut shot. And really, there's not really any safety options. There's not any clustered balls on the opposite side of the table to play behind. So I think it's either he's going to split the balls or he's going to go for it. Oh, well.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Ball in net.
I mean, you're at the mercy of the gods on that shot. It's hard to control the cue ball, but he certainly didn't deserve that.
Well, on a shot like that, it's hard to control the cue ball, as you say, at any time, but on a surface as slick as this, even more so. You just really don't know what it's going to do.
Still, he's got to keep his chin up and stay in the game. His teammates have to be right behind him and keep pushing him. And this is a nice start for Joshua. I'm sure he's happy to be at the table.
Well, Skyler Woodward so nearly won this rack with his opening shot of it. It was only a few moments ago, but it already must feel like a distant memory to him. Because with just about the easiest 9-ball you could imagine, Joshua Filler has taken the opening rack. I think the feeling was, Alison, coming into tonight, that the USA needed to win 4 of the 5 matches to give themselves real hope going into tomorrow. Now, of course, it's got to be 4 in a row. Yeah,
it's a tall order against this European team. They've really played so well. Yesterday, Jason Shaw won them 3 points. You know, there was a little bit of luck involved, and you know, when you break the balls, sometimes I think one that Shane covered the 1 ball just at the last second. You never know what's going to happen. You can predict some of it, but there's been some tough rolls for the USA, and things are going Europe's way. So it is an uphill battle for sure.
Sometimes all you can do is laugh about it. Maybe shake your hair around a bit if you're lucky enough to have that much of it.
Well, he's got nothing to lose now. I just saw him pre-match there. Joey was showing him some video of his wife and his baby at home. So you just got to think happy thoughts and get on with it.
Whether the jaw of the pocket is blocking his path here to the 1. We'll get a better view from here.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
He's sort of squinting at
it. Yeah, the
it.
way he's looking at it, it definitely is. So maybe you can just clip off the edge of it. Let's see. See what these young eyes produce. Oh, look at that. A nice little bank. What
nice
a
and
shot.
inventive. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if we had 2,000 people in the arena, they would have gone wild on that shot. That was a great shot.
Well, he loves a good celebration himself, Joshua Filler, even when there isn't a crowd. When he won the US Open, which did obviously have a big turnout in Las Vegas, he went absolutely wild in the arena.
I've seen him go wild in China too. When he won the China Open, I was actually there. I'm sure his wife Pia is watching at home, eagerly waiting to see if he pulls another point for Europe.
She's probably calling out the shots he should play.
Yeah.
An accomplished player herself, of course.
Absolutely, and I think he's really missed Pia this week. You know, just the way he's played and his demeanour, but he's here to do a job, and I'm sure they've been FaceTiming a lot.
Hard
It's
to
looking
see. Sorry, Alison.
I'm sorry, it's looking like a dream start for him here.
Yeah, hard to see what can go wrong here. And, you know, you just look at it, you were talking there about how America haven't really got the look, and I think everyone would agree on that. Well, we saw Woodward have 2 strokes of misfortune, really. The 9-ball not dropping off the break, and then the scratch that he really couldn't have legislated for later on. And you could maybe look at it and say that Filler had a bit more good fortune, that he was just able to get through to that 1 ball. Still, though, it needed a good shot. He produced it, and he's gone on from there.
Well, he looks like he's got the pace of the table down, and we're in for a treat if he's on fire.
And he's treated us there to a break and run. Joshua Filler off to a flyer. He leads Skyler Woodward by 2-0. You look at this new generation coming through, Alison. You know, you've got Filler, you've got Gorst. So where's it going to come from on the American side? Who's going to be the next generation? Is it going to be Woodward? Do you see him at the forefront of the younger players coming through for the American side?
Well, there's a junior program over there. We need more structure in America, that's for sure. The Europeans seem to have a lot more structure in different countries. America needs that. They need to really work on that and get some disciplined approach and some good coaches over there, good program. There's plenty of juniors out there, and they aspire to obviously play in this Mosconi Cup one day, and there's some great players. I've been a part of the Atlantic Cup Challenge with the BCA over the last couple of years, so I've seen the potential there. And now what we have to do is produce plenty of tournaments for those juniors to play, and once the COVID passes at some point, they need some tournaments to play in and get some experience.
And we'll break.
Well, the heavy defeat that they're facing here could give them the impetus to do that sort of thing, because they're going to see this European team, how strong it is, how young it is, and it's really going to drive home the point that the American pool scene has got to respond to that and give the young players the sort of opportunities you're talking about.
Shane is a great role model for Paul, no doubt. Just the amount that he practices, the time he puts in, how serious he is. So he's the guy you want to emulate if you want to do well in the sport. He's been the most successful US player. He just loves it. He loves it. So much passion for the game. Well, we saw Skyler make a ball on the break, but didn't really get a good shot, so he's played a push out here. And now Joshua can choose whether to put him back in or take it on. A couple of safety options. So he's going off the left side. He's looking at the left side of the 1 to come 1, 2, 3 rails behind the 2 and 8. And push the 1 over to the right side of the table. That was a beautifully played shot. I think that flies in the arena again.
I don't think it's the one from last night. I don't think we're going to see that one again. It was
No.
taken care of, wasn't it?
Zapped,
Yep.
squashed.
I was trying to find a nice word for it, but you
I
came
know.
up with one for me.
Yeah. 2.
Foul. Ball in hand.
Well, he's smiling about that. That was
Stop the clock, please.
a big mistake there. Trying to get through that, negotiate that gap while elevated and curving the ball. So it obviously took off quicker than he imagined there. Or anticipated, I should say.
All sorts of things still to be played for here. Obviously the Mosconi Cup itself isn't over until someone reaches 11 points, but there's the whole MVP situation. Jason Shaw very much the front runner for that at the moment. But a win here for Filler, having already taken the doubles, could get him within striking distance of the Glaswegian. A lot will depend actually on how many more matches are played in the Mosconi Cup this year and whether or not Filler will have enough matches to catch Shaw.
Wow, that was unusual for Skyler. He's a great bank pool player, and he had a couple of, you know, the bank was the shot. You've got to be aggressive and try and create something. He's going to be very disappointed with that.
Yeah, because all he's created here in the end is a chance for Filler to go 3-0. And one of the other considerations, of course, is the Americans don't want to go down in history as one of the heaviest defeats that the tournament has ever seen. And some of Europe's recent wins have been very heavy. 11-2 in 2013, 11-3 in 2016. The last time they won it was 11-4. The heaviest ever defeat was actually meted out by the Americans back in 2001. It was up to 12 in those days, and they won 12-1.
Oh. Yeah.
And incredibly, that was after the Americans had actually lost the opening match.
Extension called.
Well, we've got a new breed of players now, and they're great players as they're shown, and they don't mind the pressure. That was a beautiful shot.
There was one team that really needed a fast start to tonight, given the position they were in. That was the USA. There's been a fast start, but it's been in favour of the Europeans. Already a point on the board and well on the way to another one here. Joshua Filler leads by 3-0. Germany's Joshua Filler is America's national champion after his US Open win in Las Vegas last year. Right now, he's America's chief tormentor. Already a winner tonight in doubles and cruising along here, 3-0 up as he breaks off in rack 4 against Skyler Woodward.
That was a nice break. Not really a great shot on the one here, but he looked very relaxed coming into that, didn't he? Smiling and laughing.
It's the smile of someone who's part of a team that's leading 9-2.
It's easy to be smiling then, isn't it?
That's why you've spent your whole career smiling, Alison.
Well, thank you. Quite a bit of it, I would say. But I've had some tears too along the way.
Joshua Filler was the man with the tears last year when Skyler Woodward got the clinching point against him, as we were saying earlier. And we've seen this week there are a lot of sort of personal rivalries and scores to be settled, and that'll be an added element for Filler in this match. He'll want to put one over Woodward following the events of 12 months ago in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to this match tonight, but it's looking very one-sided at the moment.
Extension call, please.
That was a good safety shot that Joshua just played on Skyler. And so he could play the one ball between the 4 and the 9. Looks like he's got other plans on his mind. Wow, that was a beautiful shot.
Well, he deserves to be on the one after that.
That was a great shot. He cross-banked the 4 ball there.
Did well even to think of it, let alone execute it.
Yeah, a really nice shot. You can always learn something from these players who are great at one pocket and banking. They play all the disciplines back in America.
Yeah, often as part of the same event, you have different divisions.
Well, the massive tournament every year is a Derby City Classic, and all of these players attend it. It's a famous event, and they have one pocket, straight pull, 9 ball, and banks as different division. Anyone can play in it, so that's been really good for the pool calendar over the years.
One of the other pool disciplines that's probably the most familiar to British viewers is 8 ball. Skyler Woodward has been US Open champion in that discipline. His best year was last year, topped $100,000 in prize money for the first time. He's been in the top 10 of the global money list for the last 3 years in a row, adding up to well over $250,000 in that time. And he has been a tournament winner this year. Not many players can say that because there haven't been many tournaments for obvious reasons, but he did win the Music City Classic in Tennessee all the way back in January in a very different world. Doesn't look to fancy this one, though.
He's worried about the scratch in the corner pocket, that's why. They missed it. Because look, you see where the cue ball's headed? He should have really let his stroke out there, hit it hard so that the cue ball curves a bit. He was just very worried about the cue ball there.
And Filler takes full advantage. He's now leading by 4 racks to 0. And we were saying, Alison, we haven't seen a golden break. Another thing we haven't seen in this Mosconi Cup so far is a 5-0. That could be about to change. And indeed, the last player to win a match 5-0 was Joshua Filler last year against Shane Van Boening on day 3.
Well, let's look at that again. When the 2 balls collide, there's a little bit of throw on the object ball. So you have to always aim those shots a little bit thinner than you think. But I think he was more thinking about that cue ball there. Very disappointed because that's a chance for him to get the game on the board. He's not disappointed, on the other hand.
Well, he always looks like a man on a mission. He knows his own talent, he believes in it, he works so hard at the game, he looks after himself physically, and he competes so hard out on the table. And there's Jeremy Jones and Joey Gray, and you've got to have a bit of sympathy for them because they've put so much work into this all year long. It means so much to them. First time Jeremy Jones as captain. He's been a part of so many winning Mosconi Cup teams as a player. And really, it's just all falling apart for them.
Yeah, I know we've said on the last couple of days, they haven't competed much, you know, or if at all. And so it's been very tough coming out here for the biggest event of your career and, you know, just trying to put a good game on. As we saw on the first day, there were so many mistakes that they had to mentally change for the next day, and it seems like Europe have done the trick. I always thought at the beginning of this Mosconi Cup that the quiet arena would suit the Europeans more, and I think that has come to fruition.
Presumably, though, in spite of the heavy defeat that looks almost inevitable now, Jeremy Jones, having only come in this year, will still be retained for 2021.
I don't think this is anything to do with bad captaincy at all. I think Jeremy's a great guy, a good captain. He really cares, and he's done everything he can to prepare the team, given the circumstances. You know, you have to remember at the end of the day, we've got a lot of different personalities playing, Paul, and you have to be able to talk the language of each person on an individual basis, and that's not easy.
Well, I'm sure, being the analytical people they are, Jones and Gray will go away and think about this and figure out what they might have to do differently, but Filler wishes he had done something differently there. That's unexpected.
That was a massive mistake, wasn't it? So I just hope that Sky can really run out this rack and get a point on the board and just pretend everything else hasn't happened. Just pretend it's 0-0 and get his one on the board and then go from there. Here we go, back to his banking skills. That's better. Nice shot, so he's just got to hold it together. This is a little tricky just being close to the rail, but it shouldn't pose any problem.
Well, that's even more surprising than the one Filler just missed.
Commentator's curse again. I felt like he was a little bit quick in the delivery there. You know, there are times when you just have to slow yourself down a little bit and just take that little bit of extra time, but it seemed like he was a little bit quick.
And Joshua Filler has been very quick to what seems like certain victory now.
Yeah, you can't make any mistakes against Joshua. He's going to punish you every time.
And the net result of it all is the first 5-0 of this year's Mosconi Cup. Joshua Filler gains a measure of revenge for events in Las Vegas 12 months ago. He's blown away Skyler Woodward. It's 10-2. Now over to Alban Ocean and Fedor Gorst to bring it on home for Europe.